Hi friends! Last weekend, my home church in Mount Sterling produced a play called The Beggar and the Wolf. It's a comedic retelling of the story of St. Francis and the Wolf. My brother-in-law was the director and 6 other family members were in the cast. The rest of us were in the audience. It was a good show. The story comes from the 21st chapter of The Little Flowers of St. Francis of Assisi, a collection of noteworthy events in the life of St. Francis and his followers. St. Francis died in 1226, and sometime between 1250 and 1262, a monk named Ugolino of Montegiorgio wrote down noteworthy events from St. Francis's life that had been left out of the formal biographies. These omissions were the result of controversy in the church over the ways that the Franciscans allowed humble, ignorant peasants to talk directly to God. The stories in The Little Flowers were intended to capture the true spirit of the days when St. Francis was still on the earth. The first English translation of The Little Flowers appeared in 1864, and the first American translation was in 1887. The Little Flowers has been described as one of the raciest, most spirited, and most beloved of the Italian classics. The story of St. Francis and the Wolf goes like this. When St. Francis was living in the city of Gubbio, a large wolf appeared in the neighborhood, and it was so terrible and so fierce that it not only devoured other animals, but people as well. The people of the town would walk about armed as if they were going into battle, and they dared not leave the city walls. St. Francis, feeling great compassion for the people of Gubbio, resolved to go and meet the wolf, even though everyone advised him not to do it. Making the sign of the Holy Cross and putting all his confidence in God, he went to the place where the wolf was known to be. Many people followed at a distance, and so they witnessed this miracle. The wolf ran towards St. Francis with his jaws wide open. As he approached, the saint made the sign of the cross and cried out, "Come hither, brother wolf. I command thee in the name of Christ neither to harm me nor anybody else." As soon as Francis made the sign of the cross, the wolf closed his jaws, stopped running, and lay down at Francis' feet as meekly as a lamb. St. Francis spoke to the wolf and offered to make peace between the wolf and the villagers, if the wolf would promise no longer to attack them, and if the villagers would promise to forgive the wolf. The wolf bowed his head and put his paw in St. Francis' hand, signifying his agreement. So St. Francis and the wolf went to the village together, and Francis told the people, "Listen, my brethren, the wolf who is here before you has promised and pledged his faith that he consents to make peace with you all, and you must promise to give him each day his necessary food." Then all the people promised with one voice to feed the wolf to the end of his days. And the wolf knelt down, bowed his head, and promised to keep his side of the agreement. This occasioned great joy in all the people and great devotion to St. Francis, both because of the uniqueness of the miracle and because of the peace which had been established with the wolf. The wolf lived 2 years at Gubbio, going familiarly from door to door without harming anyone, and all the people received him courteously, feeding him with great pleasure. After 2 years, the wolf died of old age, and the people of Gubbio mourned his loss greatly. For when they saw him going so gently amongst them all, he reminded them of the virtue of St. Francis. What a beautiful story of forgiveness and generosity, and how they both enable us to live together peaceably. Thanks for listening. I'll see you again next week.